2-1-1 for Tactical, having that plus 35 CS. Dive into mid lane, and Insanity just wiped Balulu off the map. Insanity and Solo fighting off to the side as they lock down Envy. He tries to use his grasp back onto the Baron, and he stays alive for now. Balulu won't get the kill. They need him with TSM. Turtle's unstoppable. He's excited, and he just can't hide it. The Jinx shuts down Tactical's Clawmaw. Insanity takes out Balulu. Immortals, they were so close, but no cigar.
Absolutely. Just stand here and dare FlyQuest to go.
Someday goes in, a beautiful follow-up from the Magnet Storm of Busio. They instantly kill Prince, but Impact looks for the entrance off to the side. Oh no, man, that was not what FlyQuest needed. VicLa at least gets one, but he's gonna die in response. Someday lives with a bomb to come out. Yes, it will. It's a 2 for 3, making a 2 for 4. 100 Thieves might have just won the game.
Equalizer is going to separate the pack once again. Rich finds an unstoppable force on a Jojo Cone, but he goes golden for the stasis, and Ayla answers back with the back of the storm. He gets blown up, but they trade one back on the diamond. Jets the top again. This could be a huge moment, but he only gets one kill. And Jojo Cone, is he going to die? No, he has the shield from Armeo, keeping him alive. Tomo is gone. Unforgiven goes into the air. The slam from Centaur. Oh, Centaur trades it back. This was a banger, all right. Evil Geniuses and Dignitas fighting until the bitter end.
Can we just
Just see, guys.
Any, don't flash any.
I'm fighting Soraka.
I'm just hitting front.
Help.
I can root.
Can you go ahead? You guys can. Nice. Upper mid. Nice.
Very tanky this early on. He's just got the tier 2 boots. They're going to try to look for a Harry. Oh, he walks into it.
Nice snipe from FBI.
Here. Has to be careful because that passive tower is down.
Oh, that was so close. Hitting the Nexus Circuit. Super Mega Death rocket onto Yacht, but he's still healthy enough to fire on back. A lot of damage on the contract. He trades on a 1, but Energy hits an open Nexus. They just hit it. Team Liquid, they can't defend. NRG save the game and take out Team Liquid.
Be worse.
I'm not going to answer that question.
Answer the question, Raz.
I'm not going to answer
the question, Raz.
I'm not answering that question.
Surprise!
Welcome to day 2.
See, this is what you always do to us.
Yeah,
you
I do.
always say something unhinged.
That's true. Now that
we go live, and now it's our turn.
I don't like this. I really don't.
How the turntables, Raz.
Oh, no. I don't like the feeling of this. We're going to get back on track next time around when I'm doing it to you guys. All right, let's pull up the standings and the schedule. Let's see what we have for the rest of the day. Woo! So, after yesterday, Evil Genius is just number 1, by the way.
Yep.
Number 2, Cloud9, tied with Golden Guardians. Number 4, it's tied 3-way between 100 Thieves, Dignitas, and Team Liquid Honda. And then 7th place between NRG and TSM. And FlyQuest and Immortals round out the back half. But FlyQuest are making a run. They've been trying. They've been pushing it.
They lost.
They lost to 100 Thieves.
Look, I'm still in the mindset of last week.
I'm talking about Rockets don't stop halfway, 100 Thieves. All right, Rocket mortgaging themselves to the stratosphere. 5-5 now, about to break over a 500 when they beat EG today.
Okay, all right. Is that,
Are you calling it?
Are you calling it right now?
We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
Everybody is fine except for Immortals.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's a fair assessment.
They're 0-8.
Everyone, like, you're having a bad split. It's rough, but everyone is feeling like, oh, yeah, we can make a run.
When you were making your percentage chart, there was a chance of them still making first. It was like 0.5.
Yeah, because we'd played 9, and you're playing 9 more. So anything can happen. You can
Anything can happen.
Now I think that chance is probably gone.
Now it's less.
Anything can happen. It's the Travis
Going down.
effect. All right. You said it's going down. Something did went down last night. So after the game between Team Liquid and NRG, we now have a new mid laner. APA is coming in, as you can see, looking at the lineup. So APA coming in from their Academy lineup, their Challengers League lineup. He's someone that's been around. We've seen him a little bit in Challengers League, played in Collegiate just a bit with Maryville. Emily, what's your take on him?
I mean, I think the big thing that stands out to me regarding APA is when he first got picked up, I was actually one of the doubters, right? Because he'd been known as a player who could play very specific champions, aka Aurelion Sol and Galio and the like. So I was like, okay, I don't know. Despite the fact that a lot of people told me this guy's a grinder, how well he would do. And he's really proven everyone like me absolutely wrong in terms of just working really, really hard to expand his champ pool and really prove that he deserves to be here.
Yeah, and I think some more background on this guy is that he has accomplishments, not necessarily in a tier 1 professional league, but he was rank 1 at the end of World's Champion Queue last year. He was rank 1 in Spring Split Champions Queue, where you get a little helmet.
That's true.
And also rank 1 in solo queue when he was playing for LP. Now he's playing for practice and still has 2 accounts over like 1,200 LP. And he's in first place in NACL. So he has won a lot. And I mean, I do also think that this does feel a little sudden.
Yeah.
If it was more planned, I feel like he would be starting Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think this is definitely at least somewhat of a response to Harry's really bad game yesterday and the fact they fell to 5-5. But I do still want to see him succeed because he's the type of player that for the past half decade just gets passed over by default because he's an NA solo queue player, right? But he's done literally everything he can. Triple rank 1 in 3 different competitive queue systems. Give the guy a chance already, right? So now he's getting his chance.
The real question is, though, how is his Korean?
Yep.
Because
not good, Mark.
No, it's not good.
Yep.
Oh,
how is everyone else's English? Is the
actually
bigger question.
that's the bigger question, and not that bad. Obviously, Jan and Core are completely fluent. Like Core is great. Summit has played on primarily English-speaking teams before. I think the biggest question is actually Pioshik if they're going to swap. But even then, if it's just the one guy, like Core can communicate in Korean with him. Like people have had these kinds of systems before. Even Golden Guardians last split was talking about how like huhi, River, and Gori sometimes just go full Korean, and you know, Stixxay and Licorice are like, we don't know what's going on. But like, as long as you see the game the same way, it's actually much more important than communicating in the exact same language.
Yeah, and English as a second language is also something he's been playing with TL Academy, the whole split. Mur is primary Korean speaker, and Arrow is primary Korean speaker, the jungler and AD carry of Team Liquid Challengers. So I think he'll be okay.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be fine. The point that you had made a little earlier about his champion pool is definitely relevant because I know that a point for Harry is that he has been going towards his comfort picks, but it has helped him because they tend to blind it.
Yeah.
But for APA, he has a huge champion pool that he can like pick from. It really is just a performance on mid lane, so it's going to be a good test for him today. Speaking of tests, let's talk report cards. We did report cards yesterday. People were giving me harassment on my report card. I liked it.
You harassed us first.
Of course you liked it. You made it. That would require some self-reflection to be like, I could have done better job.
Okay, but you're up first.
We did 4 teams yesterday. We're going to do 5 today. I have a report card for Evil Geniuses.
Okay. I'm open to this.
Are you going to that side now? Oh,
well, hold on.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
EG report card. Backing it up.
Hey.
whoa.
Close your eyes.
I didn't see it. I can't read it anyways.
Okay.
We're starting with the teacher's notes. Today, I made it a little bit more like an actual report card. Like, it's not a PowerPoint presentation. It's like you're receiving this in the envelope and you're showing it to your parents.
Uh-oh.
So,
Anxiety
EG,
intact.
your top laner Revenge has suggested that more people need to talk about him. He did this yesterday.
Yeah.
I agree. He's been performing really well. He's winning the majority of his lanes. He's always applying a lot of pressure. And then also, Unforgiven might be the best AD carry in the LCS. Again, partially off of what they were able to do yesterday. Actually, there's nothing crazy going on here. Everyone on EG is just doing really well. Their grade is that's a really bad A. It's an A.
Kind of looked like the Avengers.
That A was a C, but the team is good.
Yeah.
It's an A.
Not an A+?
No.
What would they have to do to be an A+?
They'd have to.
They're in first.
They are in first.
They could be undefeated.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Okay.
You need but like honestly, you go through the teacher's notes and you don't find a negative.
I think it's funny that you're like, we got to talk more about Revenge. I agree. Next point.
Unforgiven.
you were like, oh man, he's really smurfing his lanes. He's like playing these champs.
You didn't hype him up.
You're just like, I agree.
mentioned him.
Someone should really talk more about him.
I fulfilled the requirements.
Can we make a report
should
card?
do something.
Can we make a report card about your report card?
No, that's not the point. Maybe tomorrow.
I would say, Jay, I do like this report card. You did the assignment well.
This looks like a real report
This
card.
is solid.
Okay.
Yeah, this is good.
I just think that you could have talked more about Revenge.
Okay, talk more about Revenge.
All right.
Raz.
This one's me next, and I'm going to be doing NRG. And you guys harassed me.
You just had one gift.
You had one gift that wasn't even good.
This one's going to be a good gift.
Oh boy.
First, I'm going to clear the screen. Let's bring it up. Oh, actually, I have the power to bring it up. I love this. This is empowering.
Yeah, you press the button.
So I started with the grade last time. I'm going to start with the notes this time. Some anticipation. So first things first. It hasn't been good, guys. So
What are we looking
these
at?
are, we'll start with the 3.6K goal lead versus FlyQuest. That led into a loss.
Oh,
right?
I see.
Quite tilting.
Okay, all right.
Then we'll go to the 10.4K goal lead that
Which
they
was
had versus
first.
MIT, which was first, but I don't care
second
about
in
the
the
order.
notes.
I don't care about the order, all right?
Chronologically, I'm confused, teacher.
I'm just doing it based off the gravity of the situation. That was fair.
Okay.
This was
Okay, different system than
More great.
Okay.
That one is
That-
egregious.
That's actually fair.
Yes. And your guys' reaction isn't doing it for me, so I'm going to go with Dokla's reaction.
Are those from both those games?
Those are in both of those games.
Oh, no.
And he is looking at the major goal leads that they hold.
Oh, sure.
Which is, they are fourth, by the way, in the LCS. There's EG, C9, TL, Dennis, NRG. But they're kind of rounding out the bottom half because of this. But they're starting to pick up wins, right? They're starting to pick up wins. Which is why you shouldn't lose hope. Never give up. Look, when things are looking bad, let me clear the screen. When things are looking bad, just in general, you shouldn't lose hope. They beat C9. That was a win. That's an NRGW. They beat Golden Guardians. That's an NRGW. This is perfect form when you're bowing. That's them. By the way, the horse is another one. They beat Team Liquid. That's an NRGW. So they're beating the top teams in the league, so don't give up.
Okay.
That's my message
All right.
to Dokla, so we don't get another sad Dokla face.
This
What's
is well
the
done.
grade?
What's the
I will
grade,
say
though?
this
What's
is
the grade?
Yeah, what is the grade?
This is inspirational.
That's a C minus. That's a C minus, actually.
You can't be that low. Okay, in Alberta, did they have D's?
Huh?
In BC, they didn't have D's. C minus was as bad as you get before you failed.
Oh, there's a D that exists.
Okay, so are we doing a D grading scale?
The D grading
Yeah,
scale
we're in Los
exists.
Angeles.
Yeah.
Not in Alberta.
You
I have
bring
to
this
grade
up
FlyQuest
every
next.
time we do report cards.
I know. I just want to make sure we're consistent.
Raz?
I mean,
Raz?
inconsistent grading
That
scale
was way
exists.
better than yesterday.
We
That was
flamed
good.
you yesterday.
Yeah.
That was the best report card we've done
Yeah.
so far. I
Good
think.
job.
Thank you. And I spent less time on this than I did yesterday.
I can't.
That is
That
sad.
is sad.
That is sad.
All
All right, I'm up next, and I'm not going to be nearly as good as this.
Yes, Sam.
Last one I gave notes, and I was like pretty serious.
Rest, nerf
This
it.
time, I have 100 Thieves, and it's Summerlift time, baby.
Summerlift.
Yep.
Oh!
It's Summerlift time.
Okay, stop.
You want me to stop?
Yes.
I'm just getting started. You know what? Quid came in at first, didn't look great. He looks great now. Quid is just vibing.
Stop!
What?
You are just a boomer. That's what I'm
kind
learning.
of gift school are we
Yeah.
going to?
We're
These are
going
not
to the school
notes.
of just don't worry too much about
Oh,
the
no,
others.
not the
All right?
flacking.
Someday, Lucio,
He's on a
closer.
chair.
We're not worried about it. We're just don't worry about what the others are doing, okay?
James Worthy.
We're good.
What's the grade?
The grade is an A+.
What? No. No.
You know
No,
why?
this is
And here's
disgusting.
why. Because
They're 5
Double
and
Lift
5.
is a legacy student. And I know where my bread is buttered.
All right.
All right.
You know?
right.
All right, this is the
Prestigious
American
university.
education system.
Fair.
He's a legacy student.
Yep.
They've
He's
donated
getting it no matter what.
well
He's
to the
donated
school.
a lot of views
You
to
don't
the
give
LCS.
the legacy students an A+. That's how you get shut down. You got to find.
Is that too obvious?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a little too obvious.
Oh, wait,
Mark.
let me, what is it, like a B?
Yeah, like B+.
No, but it needs to be an A.
It has to be an A.
Yeah,
Okay, A minus
A
minus.
minus.
A minus.
A minus minus.
This is what a legacy student's report card looks like.
Oh my God.
That's disgusting.
You know
Where
what,
did you go to school?
Mark? I will
What do
say,
your parents do for a
And
living?
I
a
think-
private Catholic school.
I think this
This
is
is
a
what my report
great
card looked like.
representation of the American education system.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's Emily this
It's
time.
Emily
It's
again.
Emily this time.
They're 5-5.
And they're going up. They've been
You're
shooting
gonna have
up
to
the
clear
standings.
the. You already
All right.
you gave
Oh,
him an
no!
A minus.
I spoiled it.
The screen is not clear.
Whoa, an A minus.
No.
It's actually not crazy to think about that.
All right. Are we ready for this? This is kind of cursed.
maybe.
They both schooled me in this. You are the BLG of the LCS. You are in a way of the BLG of the LCS. Congrats. Is that a good thing? Honestly, I think the trajectory of Golden Guardians is super interesting because obviously we rate them a lot more highly going into this split than we did last split when we expected not all that much from them. Cool drafts. I like the Jarvan pick yesterday. I like saving R5 for Licorice. Sometimes, because sometimes we get a little too. We remember the Jax jungle didn't work out so well. We remember the Lucian Nami focus at the beginning of the season didn't work out so well. I still think your mid game needs work,
Fair.
There's a lot of criticism.
but so do you. So it's okay.
They're aligned. The teacher and student are aligned.
Exactly. So I'm giving them
concerned.
Your mid game and
A B+.
you need work?
Wait,
tied
what?
for second.
Your mid, I
But
still
so do
think that
I?
your mid games needs work, but so do you, so it's okay.
They
They also think their mid game needs work.
Oh, they okay. Got it.
Wait, is that hard to understand?
Well, I understood it. You're
Jack's
saying
illiterate.
Your mid game works, but you need work too.
No,
So there's two
your
things
mid
wrong,
game
which
needs
is
work.
fine.
Jack can't read.
But
it's all right.
every time I talk to one of their
you're correct.
players,
Teacher, I'm
they
illiterate.
also think.
Yeah.
their
Teacher,
mid game
you
needs
gave
work.
a B+
Yes.
to a 5 and 4 team yesterday. They're
They're 6 and 3.
No, they're 7 and 3.
Are they?
Oh, wow.
See, this is where expectations come in. Because my expectations for TL were low.
You're
Is it
marking
like an
on a
AP
curve?
class?
Yeah,
They're an AP.
Exactly.
Wow,
Yeah.
everyone would hate to be in this class.
I would hate it. I'd be like, I have literally got more questions right than the other kid, and you gave us the same grade?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're smarter.
What? That's why. Exactly. Give me a better grade. I earned it.
want you to
Well,
work
or
harder.
like GG are now in the AP class, where TL are still in like the average class.
They're
There
in
we
the
go.
same class.
Who says?
They are, the LCS.
That's fair. All right.
All right, Jack.
Why are you back up there?
Why do you have FlyQuest?
Do we know?
Oh, you have been neutered.
I've been.
Wait, what?
You've been bamboozled.
You're not allowed.
The FlyQuest slides aren't in the deck.
You're not allowed to
Oh
have
no!
it. You're not allowed.
I mean,
Look,
they're
this
in
is
second to last anyway.
Ad-lib, and I was told to ad-lib for 30 seconds
Yeah.
while the producer works on it. So
Are you-
Mark, carry
what
me.
the hell? Okay, you're
Carry me,
not
buddy.
allowed to be in this chair anymore.
Yeah, I'm just
You've
gonna wait back
destroyed
here.
the magic.
Yeah.
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 Look, I'm gonna project what I would say for FlyQuest,
Okay.
Which is
doom
and gloom.
C-.
You can't put doom and gloom on a report card.
D+.
I put a Rip Bozo on a report card. You can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
true.
A
Actually,
teacher
that's
would
true.
not put that on. If you need to be very constructive in your
I like the
criticism,
lean against the wall, Jay. You look like the cool school like drama
Yeah.
teacher or like the
Oh, yes,
music teacher.
He does.
especially with his outfit today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
like that is
outfit-
that is
the
a
outfit
teacher's
makes it.
lean against the wall,
Yeah.
like, come on, class, we can do it.
Yeah. So
When are you gonna be disappointed in your students? That
today
they're-
we're gonna watch Huckleberry Finn. Have
Oh, boy.
fun.
I'm bored.
Wheel out the TV with the VCR. Anyway, I think we're close.
Yeah.
Are we?
We
Has it
were
been
told 30 seconds. I feel like
Ah.
it's been 30.
This is a
Well,
long 30 seconds, guys.
talk
Dude,
to us
you
about
could be in
FlyQuest.
Saved by the Bell. You could be a background character in Saved by the Bell right now.
I've been told we're almost there.
Actually, yeah.
Raz, how's your threads
sure,
going?
no.
My threads is popping off.
Oh
Really?
yeah, can we
It
get
has-
lower thirds for our threads?
Yeah.
No.
I don't have
It's
one.
not there
Twitter
yet.
is dead.
Yeah.
Threads is my new best friend. I haven't made one yet.
Yeah.
I made
don't
one.
know.
I'm confused by it because you can see literally everyone on your tweet. That is the most For You page I've ever seen in my life.
There's
by the
no
way.
DMs.
Yeah.
There's
Do it-
no
do it in
DMs.
public, man. Just you want to message someone, let everybody see.
You want to send some threats? You do it in public.
Actually, I
No
like
cloak
that.
and dagger stuff
Yeah.
here.
There's
That's
no
right.
secret conversations
Then I know
with
who's
Zucker
threatening
around.
me.
What? All right. Who's threatening FlyQuest
So
this
anyway-
All
time?
right. Anyways, like we were saying.
As planned, the Fly report card, I have to say, it hasn't been that good.
Oh
There
my
seems to be
God.
some disconnect between the performance of your team from scrims to stage. Students have told me that scrim rate is upwards of 90%. First off, I don't think they added those up correctly. I want you to ask them how to recapture the glory they had in spring. I've also noticed that your star student from last split, Prince, is considerably less effective in team fights than in spring. It is a worrying
Oh, no,
trend.
not the worrying trend.
Let me be clear. I think your team has significant potential, but if they don't perform in the final 2.5 weeks of class, I think there is a strong chance they don't get to move on to the next semester.
Or college.
D-. It's dire. I'm not failing you yet. But
That's a failure.
Wait, we just
No,
agreed.
we
we just agreed.
That's the lowest grade you
an
can get
F
before
stands for
failing.
failure. D stands for
Do better.
failure.
No,
Do better.
no. In my education system,
We
you're getting a D.
just
Guys,
I don't
you
care.
are just
I
gaslighting
don't care.
us and everyone who just watched
I
this segment.
hate you.
Literally 5 minutes ago,
I
Jack
hate
asked
you.
for
I'm
clarification
dying.
on the education system.
I'm giving the lowest grade that's not an F.
You're Canadian. I'm sure in your education system, D was a
Guys.
failure.
We just talked about
Raz, like the things you're saying are things that we have already covered in
Check
this
the tapes.
conversation. Go back
such
and
a
re-listen.
I don't have the powers of YouTube, my friend. But I do have the powers
Wow.
to tell you what the today's schedule is going to be. So FlyQuest versus Golden Guard is going to be the first game. Cloud9 versus Dignitas.
It's so funny. 'Cause I was like, Jack, we're in Los Angeles. Clearly,
Yeah.
we should grade it
You
this
were
way.
right there.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
even contributing to
I
the
can do this.
You were agreeing with me.
The SM versus NRG. Then Evil Geniuses versus 100 Thieves. That Team Liquid Honda versus Immortals progressive.
Why do report card segments always just end up being so unhinged?
He's crying.
Raz is dead.
You know what's going to put us back in the rail, Emily? You did an interview with Prince because he got Player of the Week last week. Let me recover. Prince, go ahead. Get us away from this.
Welcome to the MasterCard Player of the Week interview, where I am joined once again by Prince.
Hello.
You brought your own crown today.
Because I'm Player of the Week.
Nice. I like it. Once you got that first win, it felt like there was just relief. How did it feel? Yeah, just like how happy were you? Because after that win, you guys played a lot better.
After we 0-6, we played for kill gap between Scream and Match. Because we thought 0-6 reason is gap of between Scream and Match. So we got so much pressure. And our coach is also crying after first win. So, feels different.
Scrims versus stage. I heard you were doing very well in scrims. What was that kind of difference that you were having from winning in scrims to losing on stage? And how did you overcome that?
When we play Scream, we win every line phase or early game. So even though a little bit too much play, like kind of int, but we win because our early game was so good. But in match, even situation, so that's maybe int, so that's different.
Looking ahead, in terms of your team, what do you think your team is best at?
I'm not sure now, because when we practice Scream, I think we are over LCS level and look for more higher level, like international kind of copy another league. But we start with 0-6. But we don't care because we still have confidence from our Scream. We did really well, so I don't worry anymore after 3 wins.
Your personal goals as a player, when I talked to you before, you really want to be, I am the best AD carry in the LCS. I'm going to prove it. What are your goals for summer?
After Ashes final, have after party, right? But spring season, I was third, so I don't go. And when I asked to our teammate, no way to go to there, okay? So I want to win this summer and go to after party and enjoy our happy time. That's my first goal, and go to Worlds also.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. This is Prince. We will have your statue delivered shortly.
Oh, so nice! Maybe here, right?
Did you do a different pose? Because I know you did this. You did the pointing, I think.
I couldn't remember. Maybe just general pose.
Yeah, like really strong.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. All the best going forward. Thank you.
Oh, every time I see that guy in an interview, I'm like, win more games, please.
Yeah, he's
so
such a
easy to
great
cheer for.
personality. And he was so happy. Like, he was really, really happy when I talked to him. So hopefully they can turn it around. The coin had them making playoffs.
True.
It did.
And it also had them losing to 100 Thieves.
It knows.
So.
And it feels like players that just generally talk about FlyQuest are just worried. I mean, just teams that I feel like, because they could turn it on at any point.
Yeah.
This day could be the day. Now, sadly, we're going to be introducing this matchup in an interesting way. So, you didn't want to remember this, but we're going to have to show it. This is the last time they faced off them in Spring Split in the semifinals. This is
the final Spring Split matchup.
So this is going to be specifically from InArrow's perspective.
Let's go! Get doubling! That's my boys! Get FlyQuest! Yeah! I love you, Eric! Eric Ritchie. Eric Ritchie saw his boy get punted into Zimbabwe and said, let me get in, bah, with the Malphite ulti.
It's a great reenactment.
We're going to use that clip whenever we can. We've already showed it like 4 times in broadcast. But what's really funny about that is at the time, like that was the shocking upset of like, I can't believe FlyQuest isn't going to MSI. I can't believe Golden Guardians is.
Yes.
Also, that was Malphite against Prince.
Yes.
Yesterday, we also saw Malphite against Prince. Not a super useful stat, but there is some trends here where he's had a really bad time against Malphite. Flash up again here, gets hit by the Malphite ultimate, goes down. He's played against, the last 3 times he played against Malphite, very bad KDA and really low damage, less than 10,000 damage a game when he's against a Malphite. I would say overall, Prince has actually been playing like almost overly safe in team fights, but it almost gets exacerbated when he's against the Malphite because every time he steps up, he's dying.
It's weird because he has really good mechanics. Like flashing Malphite ult is like one of the first like good mechanical things a lot of people learn to do, you know? And so the fact that he seems to be struggling against it means that something else going on there.
Yeah, but anyway, that clip was the beginning of the end for FlyQuest. Maybe. The beginning of their slump.
Maybe.
They have Malphite.
Like it was just one loss. Like I have faith. And I feel like, okay, they've had a lot of losses before that. But they had a lot of losses before that. And it reminded me of the TSM game much earlier on when he was the first one walking up towards Rift Herald and Malphite just
Haunts Malphite.
hit him in the head. So let's just pray that, you know, AD Carry's worst enemy is gone from this one. Just general takes. FlyQuest versus Golden Guardians. Anything that you guys, that pops up to you? Because Golden Guardians took a pretty impressive win off of Cloud9 just yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing that was most impressive to me about Golden Guardians' win yesterday was that it did actually come through a lot of smart decisions that they made in the mid game, which I picked on them for their mid game prior. They would also be the first people to say, this is what we need to work on. Our early game is kind of our strength. Our mid game is incredibly sus. So we need to fix that. And I thought we saw those improvements against C9 yesterday.
It felt like a playoff game to me watching that one. Like it was somewhat slow paced. It was very intelligent with like where they're putting their pressure, where wards were going, how people were reacting. And it was a lot like very tactical in the decision making about where they were trying to get their leads and stuff like that. So it reminded me of like, you know, Golden Guardians are saying like, we actually want to beat Cloud9 to cement ourselves as like potential split winners. Cause it felt like after C9 dismantled EG, it was like, oh, they're clearly the best team. Rest of Summer Split's a formality and Golden Guardians really contested that.
It's interesting. It feels like we're getting closer to the initial River meta, where we're seeing Poppy jungle, we played J4 jungle. Like these are junglers that low resources, heavy impact in team fights. He is the best Poppy, I would just say in the LCS, but we haven't seen it in such a long time. And I remember I asked him earlier on, okay, still I'm standing my ground here. That River is better. We just haven't seen it on that one. But we haven't seen him in a long time on that one. He said that he hasn't played Jarvan in a little bit, but like you don't need much experience to play Jarvan. On the opposite end, I remember before 100 Thieves played FlyQuest, they commented on the fact they're a boring team. They play to scale, and they did that. So it doesn't really feel like there's another angle to them. Before we go into that, though, let's go straight into the predictions, what you guys have predicted for the whole day. Not just the first matchup, the entire day. Split on the first game.
Fan vote, though.
No one predicted TSM? Am I crazy? Insanity's playing again, guys, right? It's not Ruby?
Yep.
And no one thinks TSM's gonna win?
Why are you surprised? You picked NRG.
I mean, I feel like that is
actually,
I think that is the closest matchup.
Oh, definitely is. I mean, fan vote wise.
But I am surprised. It's one of those weird things where like it's the closest matchup. I waffled on it a lot. And then probably recency bias.
That Immortals pick at the end of the day, Mark, is bold.
What are you doing?
They just swapped their mid laner. They're falling apart.
100 Thieves, 2 versus EG.
That's a Did you see my Rip Bozo demonstration?
You did,
I'm a 100 Thieves fan.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that.
Yeah, you've been in 100 Thieves
all
fan since day one.
The Golden Guardians one, I'm surprised that the fan vote is with me. I thought I was picking the upset. Mark is on the train too.
But the FlyQuest 75% fan vote is shocking.
Wild to me.
Something went wrong. The fans typed in the GG logo wrong or something. There's no way that after beating Cloud9, people are like, yup, FlyQuest taking this one.
Alternatively, we've made jokes about GG and their fan base before. So it could be like...
They have fans now.
They have fans.
No, but you know how like we had that joke during finals where people brought signs and be like, I've been a GG fan for all of 30 minutes.
Past 30 minutes, yeah.
That's fair. Oh my God. That one's a lot closer than I feel like in the predictions. The predictions do not showcase how much of a tilter towards it to Golden Guardians. But anyways, Golden Guardians versus FlyQuest, that's it for Waiting Room, and we'll see you on the other side. Take it easy, guys.
Welcome everyone to day 2 of week 4 of the LCS Summer 2023. I'm Gabby. I have 2 gentlemen by my side to kick off the day. We got Kobe, we got Mark. Y'all adjusted over there? You ready for game 1?
I'm ready to go. You ready?
Let's go. Honestly, I'm pretty hyped for this one. Golden Guardians has been on a tear. River, after my own heart here, going back to his Jarvan, his champion, ganking everywhere. And he didn't die yesterday. Let's see if we can keep it up.
Yeah, I think that was a special treat for anyone that had forgotten about how powerful he is on the J4 because of the experimentation Golden Guardians has been doing. But now we'll have to see how they fare against FlyQuest.
And it's a pretty good time to go back to picks like that are comfortable picks that you are very, very good on, because we just had big nerfs to Vi, to Wukong, to a bunch of the other junglers that have been plaguing the pro meta for so long.
Such strong language on the
Kobe
broadcast.
hates Vi. Shocker.
I just hate things that stay for a long time.
Yeah.
And so it's really nice to see some variation. And I'm always a big fan of player-specific champions. You know, when we have like Froggen and Anivia, double-elimination, River Jarvan, these sorts of things. Huhi, Aurelion Sol.
Yeah, Kobe's the first one out at parties, doesn't want to linger, doesn't want to overstay, unlike some champions in the meta. I do think that this is a potential trap game as well for Golden Guardians. The fact that you have this great high of beating Cloud9, this team that has been reigning over the LCS for multiple splits now. You take them down the regular season, and then you have this struggling team in FlyQuest waiting for you on the other side of the next day. I do think this is a game where you have to, kind of refocus for, because FlyQuest did drop a very hard-fought game against, I think it was 100 Thieves yesterday, where it went back and forth for a while.
Personally, I think the 2 games that these teams played yesterday were the most interesting coming into today. One, because that loss to 100 Thieves on the FlyQuest side brings you back to day 1 of the split, but with a different context. Because while the first time it was followed by an 0-6 run that made you question their strength, this time around they came in with a 3-0, albeit against teams they were expected to defeat if they were to play to their expectations as a team, but nonetheless dismantled once again with that loss to 100 Thieves. Whereas Golden Guardians were bringing things back in their favor against Cloud9, a statement in what was becoming a narrative of them losing to the head-to-head rather for Cloud9 again and again. But we'll see if they can follow that up with another win here against FlyQuest.
All right, it's 13-13. I actually really enjoy this patch already. FlyQuest coming out with some target bans. Licorice always been very good at using the counter picks on red side, and they don't want to let him have that rumble for later, so FlyQuest gonna throw out a couple of those. They self-ban the Tristana. It's been a little bit controversial here with their priority for VicLa with this champion, but they're going to ban it out already to take it away from the possibilities of Golden Guardians. And I think a lot of people are probably happy to see that they aren't willing to now first pick it on blue side.
Yeah, it's definitely something that fans were upset about, but it was also something that Golden Guardians have used multiple times. They've played it in a ton of roles. Their red side drafts for Golden Guardians are often very flex pick reliant, so no surprise to see that one taken away. We've seen, actually, I think even between VicLa and Gori, some 1v1s around the LeBlanc interest on a matchup. Now both them gone. And even yesterday, very interesting build by Gori, still sticking with what was kind of the OP build on 13-12 with the Static Shiv, LeBlanc, Night Harvester, and Lichbane. Still made that look very good yesterday.
And there's a lot less focus on mid lane bans this time around, so that does mean Nico is still up, Annie is still up. Even though these champions got touched on this patch, they were not very significant nerfs and are still very much viable. So those, along with the Azir that was hovered already, lots of plenty of blind picks here available for that lane. And FlyQuest want to invest in Sejuani, which definitely is a flex pick. Could actually go up into the top lane. We've even seen it played a little bit mid lane as well. So Sejuani opener here for FlyQuest, very strong frontline, flexible, and leaves up the Aphelios that, like the Annie, like the Nico, also got small nerfs on this patch. But has not dissuaded anyone from picking up the champ.
A very pro-oriented changes with you in mind, Kobe, in terms of trying to introduce other picks into the meta, but there usually is an adjustment time, especially with the prolonged amount of time we'll be spending on this patch in pro play.
I love how often River hovers Rengar now ever since MSI. He wears it as a badge of honor. Kindred still picked up though for him, is one of those aggressive junglers that scales, but you can also try and play off of your team super early on and go for some aggressive looks.
And River as a player is actually extremely good on carry champions. He has just been sort of forced into, or I should say forced, but has been happy to take on the facilitator role in his time in North America. Those Jarvan picks is what we all know him as, but if you look at his PCS days and stuff like that, he often was having incredible performances. At MSI, he had that insane Rumble jungle, so he is someone who can step into this carry potential very easily.
And Gori has been very flexible. Gori is a mid laner that can easily play a lot of these setup champions from mid lane as well. So I'm really looking at what Golden Guardians want to pair this Kindred with, because this is not a champion that you pick in isolation. Usually you're looking at stuff like the Milio here, where that Cloud9 always pair it with, but FlyQuest have stolen away, or some sort of supportive mid laner there from Gori, either from the tank version or from the healing and shielding.
Yeah, because that Kindred pick for River is one you can trust, grabbing a win the first time around, and now we're getting Sylas coming through.
I'm surprised to see the Sylas when we're talking about supportive mid laners. I was with you, Kobe. I was like, oh, this is like a Galio angle, or they're going to take the Cassante and like flex it around and see where it ends up going. Sylas taken away right away, and not some of the immediately obvious pairings that you can see it taken against, like a Maokai, where you want that ultimate or something like that. It is very good into Azir. You can usually sustain through the kind of range advantage that Azir has, and then you just get to scale pretty freely throughout the lane phase. It's not the most pressure you're going to face, but there's nothing that said like, oh, we need to grab this here, to me at least.
And now we're looking at bans here from FlyQuest, who would assume that they're going to keep banning the aggressive supports. They already banned out the Blitzcrank from huhi. Huhi's definitely been primary engage for Golden Guardians. And look at their first 3 picks. They need much more primary engage on the side of Golden Guardians. That's going to come from support. You know, Rel, Nautilus, Leona, those types of champions. Meanwhile, Golden Guardians taking away some of those Milio pairings. They do critically leave up the Lucian, which is one of the best pairings with it, but it would leave you a little bit more short range early on. Personally, I think Prince in the beginning with FlyQuest was the best Lucian that we had on display in the LCS, but that was a while ago before the big slump of FlyQuest.
And we haven't seen Lucian as much ever since that Lucian-Nami combo was somewhat dismantled, but it is still a pick that can come through if FlyQuest chooses to lean into comfort. Also maybe thinking of what you can bring to try and disengage or push River out of the Lamb's Respite and make little use on Golden Guardian's side of the tools they bring to the table. But it's their turn to answer now.
Most likely going to be the support locked in. Kobe was asking for more engage, and we get...
Let's go.
Nautilus, the most boring of options
so
for
fun.
engage.
What are you talking about, you know?
It's really good point and click, actually, because it's mostly knockups and movement things here, which is more effective against Milio. When you're playing against Milio, you always have to worry about these sorts of things with, like, Leona loses a lot of priority there with the cleanse, but Nautilus being able to get multiple, value out of his hard engage, definitely the go-to pick there. But quick 4-5 here from FlyQuest, and they've got a very, very safe backline. Xayah, Azir defended by Milio here for FlyQuest, so they've set up some pretty secure lines.
Yeah, on the flip side for Golden Guardians, rounding that with Cassante into that Renekton is exactly what Licorice played yesterday into Fudge. Had a pretty good time of it, so glad to see him run that one back.
All right, Kobe, Mark, what do you make of the draft? Who won it?
I mean, Golden Guardians have been playing so much better. I really favor their side, but this FlyQuest draft is not bad. This FlyQuest draft has a lot of things that people look for in the meta right now. Sejuani, Renekton top side. You know, you can get on the Kindred early, try and burst her down for a 2v2, and they have plenty of scaling for their very safe backline. Azir, Xayah protected by Milio. I say that Golden Guardians right now are too good.
Golden Guardians are too good. The thing that I'm looking forward to the most is the Azir ult battles over Kindred ult. It's one of the things that you can really do with the Sylas stolen Azir ult. Push people off your Kindred ult if they're in there. Obviously, that's exactly the same thing that VicLa is probably going to be looking to do. So while it might not be the most interesting part of the game, it's what I'm looking forward to the most.
In the end, no one will be standing on the Kindred
It's an empty Kindred ult.
Because both teams get swept off of it.
Yep, that's why we've seen that matchup time and time and again. FlyQuest matching off against Golden Guardians here to kick us into the day. And Golden Guardians definitely putting a lot of confidence in their favor based on the way they played yesterday. And even though it is a different look for River, not quite on the facilitator, but now on the carry, it's one that they can have confidence in. But FlyQuest looking to prove that they aren't imposters and they can snag a win to even out their week thus far.
FlyQuest looking for their first win, second round robin. They ended the first one with a nice 3-0, very hard fought to keep a lot of ways their playoff dreams alive. Kobe loved that possibilities, outcome charts that we were showing, how much they shot up the standings by winning those 3 games. We'll see if they can finally find their 4th.
I've got some interesting stats for you for this game, too.
Ooh, hit me.
Oh, stats 10.
I always like...
Look, they pause the game for you, Kobe. They say, oh, Kobe stats.
No!
Your
At what
intro was
cost,
that
though?
good.
At what cost?
Look, the crowd's cheering. They want the Kobe stats.
So I always especially like jungle proximity, the stat that we track, that is how much of the first 14 minutes you are within 2,000 units range of one of your teammates. And we can target it for any given lane. River has the highest jungle proximity of any jungler in the entire league. At 46, almost 47% of his time spent within 2,000 range of another teammate. Spica is pretty close, but mostly just for bottom lane. Spica is a big bottom lane camper. River has the highest top lane jungle proximity. But on top of River's very high ganking prowess, which we saw yesterday, and which is backed up by the high jungle proximity, huhi has the highest roam percentage of any support. He spends almost 50% of the first 14 minutes away from bottom lane, and he's a full 10% higher than any other support. So huhi and River, the two like setup positions of support and jungle for Golden Guardians, are the ones that spend the most time being super active out on the map.
Trouble in paradise. huhi keeps leaving Stixxay behind in the bot lane.
50% is actually pretty crazy.
That's crazy.
We used to have games where, you know, there were years where Core JJ had a Shen game that was almost 0%, where he actually never went bottom, and it was like Tactical was on Ziggs, I believe, something like that. But to average 50% is pretty substantial, considering the next highest support was 60% of their time still spent in lane.
Yeah, right now, currently, in terms of the pause, we're looking into some latency issues on Prince's side. That's why you can see everyone kind of hovering around his chair. It's a little bit of time until we get into it.
Just like Spica hovering around Prince, making sure everything's right.
Perfect tie-in.
There we go. I also think it's interesting, just within the context of this game, when you talk about River being the most babysitting of junglers for his laners in the league. He's always playing around them. Kindred is not the champion you want to deal that on. Very much a selfish champion in the sense where you want to make sure that you're keeping your clear speed up just for gold influx. You have to be kind of moving around the map to prioritize your marks, which is something that, you know, on any other champion, you can just say like, I don't need this camp right now. I'm going to go do this thing. But for Kindred, you really do want to be getting onto certain parts of the map at certain timings. So it'll be interesting to see Golden Guardians kind of adapt to this slightly different champion.
And if you are playing Kindred and you are kind of a greedy style, Mark, then you're going to want your support to be the most roaming support
That's true.
in the league and get that Nautilus.
Who come to Raptors.
Exactly. Nautilus is the perfect setup for a Kindred to go roam around with. Brings you everything that you want, the front line, the engage, so that you get to get the kills, you get to get the marks. And we will see. From the side of FlyQuest, though, because we spend so much time on Golden Guardians, this is really the time where everybody is looking at them. These are a lot of must-win almost games to really get people confident in this team again. And I feel like from their champion select, like I said, it is a very stable setup. Spica early on probably wants to look towards the top side to Sejuani, Renekton. That doesn't actually have a lot of returns towards the later stages of the game, though, where VicLa and Prince are going to have to carry.
And in terms of that stability, FlyQuest is looking for a stable mode of play in their approach each time. Spica had spoken about it in a previous interview, how when they were coming off the 0-6, okay, what can we do to adjust? Because now we're in that dire territory. How about I go on these facilitative picks? And in their 3-0, it was 2 games of Sejuani and 1 of Ivern that brought them back on that track.
A lot of people like to go back to basics anytime they're struggling, which either means picking comfort champs that have been meta for a long time. Renekton, Sejuani, Xayah, Azir, all these champions are almost every single year end up in the meta for some portion of time. So going back to those is a good thing. As well as the fact is, whoa, we got the Nautilus butt rush mid, the fastest level 1 kills possible.
I actually love that. It's coming out of a pause, too. Like, are they awake?
Yeah.
All right, everybody's ready. We're awake after the pause. No problem here. And it is going to be flash blown. So it's also a worthy investment getting that flash out of VicLa, and they're not done with him yet.
Hex flash coming in.
Trying to follow up. VicLa knows how he was punished previously, though, so leans towards his jungler.
It's always so worth that investment, though, and I think more teams do need to invest and think about their level 1s like this, where Nautilus is going to not really care about blowing flash. You're a Hex Flash bottom side Nautilus into Xayah Milio anyway, so getting the flash off of the Azir, and you're trying to play this matchup as Sylas in a much more aggressive look. You're always trading your health to try and push out waves. Now the Azir does not have flash and actually has to worry about Kindred ganks early on.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It is something that, you know, you're going to be sacking bot lane anyways against the double range, so sack that up. And then we were talking a little bit about how Sylas does have a decent matchup into Azir. You don't win it usually. You just kind of survive through the first 6 levels and kind of farm up and sustain through. But this time around, you know, the fact that he has no flash means that maybe Gori can get even more aggressive, like you said, land some chains for setup to the Kindred gank.
Yeah, we'll see about the wards around mid lane. They're always so incredibly important when you get an early flash like that blown. Huhi's 100% accurate on his hooks on Vulcan so far with the evil trade.
That's the trading pattern that he's going to go for. Try and land that dredge line to get some additional hope to set up for Stixxay.
First, matched.
Vulcan stepping forward, gets rooted, but the root is returned. Flash used by Vulcan, stepping on back. Prince nice and shielded, wants to get additional poke onto Stixxay.
Overall, even trade of summoners all across the board. Both AD carries popping flash in case it turned into an extended chase down. Both supports trading out one of their combat summoners. So no ignite for huhi, no heal for Vulcan.
Whenever you get that aggressive trading, it does usually track junglers, but it's just going to be a ward drop-off for Spica because the wave pushing against them, he just want to make sure that they're not going to get a dive built up on them or anything.
Over in the mid lane, up back to bot. A Q landed on Prince. It's a slight CS lead that's been built up for Golden Guardians in the bot side, and that's what they want to keep pushing here.
And the reason you come down and do that cover ward for the tri-brush to look out for the dive is that Kindred clearing top towards bottom. Meanwhile, Sejuani has to go up towards top side camps here, or else Spica would fall really far behind. We'll see if that vision is enough, because still coming down anyway is River.
Yep, jumps the
while.
wall.
Has to make this dive happen. Vulcan and Prince see it. Stixxay gets rooted under Torso. Oh, manages to out-survive the damage, but first blood has been drawn by River. Still surviving. Vulcan flashes forward to see if he can get single auto. Huhi lands the hook. A double kill for Golden Guardians on the bot side.
Oh my goodness, Mark!
Supportal combat from huhi protects River, goes flying back in and finishes off Vulcan. 2 kills. What a clean dive. I thought this looked like a misexecution because Stixxay gets chunked so low. Prince and Vulcan target him down. Even though huhi has the turret aggro, they think they can burst Stixxay, but the last second flash out stays alive. Airy not able to finish him off. River gets that kill, barely drops turret aggro.
That was actually really smart by Stixxay. Really good use of the Aphelios bullets. He gets rid of his green gun, goes blue into purple, so he blue splashes, purple roots them under, takes just the 1 shot, and is barely able to flash out even with the Milio damage coming towards him. So really good awareness there, communicating and changing his bullets over to get his blue-purple gun under the tower for just enough damage to soften them up for River to be able to get it.
Good work on every member in that. Huhi even making sure to keep that aggro on him from the turret and the follow-up after. That's what you want to see from both huhi and River. You are both emphasizing what they can do for this team on the engage, and when paired with Kindred, yes, we're not in ultimate territory yet, but Kindred is still someone you want to facilitate.
Yeah, it's definitely a very good start for the side of Golden Guardians. That fight easily could have gone 2-0 FlyQuest way. If Stixxay gets killed underneath the turret, then River, you know, gets dropped as well. It was very, very scary there. Now Spica has to make sure that his bot lane is defended, because that is basically all sums down, and huhi's is back up because he used it level 1. So there's always potential now for a flash setup for another gank.
Yeah, I mean, Spica feels kind of bad. Like, he tried. He was like, okay, here's the ward in the tri-brush. Then Kindred just hops over Krug wall anyway. They still dive on bottom side, and it's still so close like that. This is why, you know, so many junglers do just always try and pass down towards bottom side. And I mentioned, yeah, Spica previous to this game had the highest bottom side jungle proximity, but River doing the one that does count. And whenever you have a small play like that that comes out, even though you were very close to getting multiple comeback kills, you don't actually get any value out of being super close. You're like, good job, pat on the back. Golden Guardians now have that 1.2k gold lead, and bottom side is getting set up on, but both junglers are in the area. Kindred looks like Kindred's starting Dragon, though.
Starting it up, huhi uses the hook to get towards the wall because the Spica is approaching. And huhi's separated from his carry. Stixxay wants to make it to safety, goes airborne on the retreat. River now cannot step up to the plate either, so Stixxay falls at the hand of Prince.
Good job here from Spica. He forces the gank on bottom side while the greedy dragon is started by River. No real priority there, and so when you have the Sejuani just running straight down the lane, Spica able to get in there with the flash. They chase down the kill and salvage this.
Yeah, it's just a really heads-up fake recall out of FlyQuest as well. They sat in that brush, made it look like the waves crash. They meet that they're going to be back in base because they're down prio. They were down around 20 CS when that play happened, and it just lulled Golden Guardians into a false sense of security. Nice job getting a kill back into Prince's pocket to equalize some of that gold disadvantage now. Only a couple hundred behind Stixxay after that one.
Counter kills like that are just so important here. FlyQuest getting it back a little bit under control for themselves. It is still going to be a bit of a CS deficit down there for him, but Spica transitions up to the top side anyway. Scuttle Crab and protect against super deep Mark.
And with that, the pressure off of the Dragon means that the first one hasn't been claimed yet here at 7.5 minutes. VicLa, of course, has the shifting sands to get out of range of River over in mid side, but great to keep that gold lead under 1,000 if you're on FlyQuest side, but by sheer farming power, Golden Guardians are trying to shift it back.
See if they can keep pushing their advantages. It is a game that is different than what all the stats Kobe have been preparing us for. huhi has been stuck around bot side for the most part, and River has only made that kind of one look there and kind of one cover on the counter gank as well. A lot less attention as we see ult traded in top side.
Meanwhile, both junglers in close proximity. Spica is attempting to drop these controls to keep eyes on River, who will be seen as he approaches towards that bot side, which is why Prince and Vulcan are making sure to back up a bit more safely, but huhi hits the go, ults way into the backline with Prince. Vulcan takes too much damage before making his way to the turret. Spica attempting to make the play, misses with the ultimate, over the wall he goes. A good stun onto huhi, but they need another hit for him to not live any longer, and there it is from Prince. A trade back.
So FlyQuest happy to get another trade back, and that one actually afforded because River not level 6 yet. Being down a level on Kindred means he cannot save huhi there with his ultimate. And Sejuani, even though you missed the ultimate over the side, he still gets in. They at least draw one back.
Gori running into it with VicLa. The ultimate comes out, and with Vulcan behind VicLa, they do grab the flash away from Gori.
Not too bad for FlyQuest right now, relieving some pressure in the mid lane, finding that counter kill on the bot side.
I will still say, though, with all this focus on bottom side, Golden Guardians are accomplishing the big CS lead down here for Stixxay regardless. They push up the waves, then they go for these dives. So even when you get like a straggling kill back, you're still leaving a mark as far as the position of the minion wave here. A lot of those going down to tower. Prince not able to scrounge too many of them back up. And after Gori already has his flash blown, now we turn our sights towards support recall timers up towards this Rift Herald. Vulcan even going to pull it out.
Drawing some attention towards top. Licorice getting the aggro off of him with Vulcan rotating towards his top side because of that priority on the Herald.
Yeah, really nice play there by Vulcan, just roaming up enough to force the ult out of Licorice, secure this Rift Herald very easily into their back pocket. They'll be able to grab this one. You know, Prince is playing ultra respectful down the bot side just in case the cross map has come through. And this will be something where most likely we'll see if they want to go down bot lane again to keep funneling Prince. I do think, you know, you can try and put some more eggs in the VicLa basket potentially. This was just an awesome max range hook. The flash lollipop onto the support. Vulcan's like, what the hell, bro?
Yeah, the lollipop he's referring to is when your skill shots get towards the end, you get the little balloon. And Nautilus is one of the most notorious champions for those hitboxes. Gori, of course, didn't get hitbox from the ultimate, but nothing to save him here as he's going forward, and Prince is able to grab that one back. Like you're saying, Prince needs to continue getting more money, though, because he's still so far down. The critical part of that replay was when it started. You see the double-stacked minion wave when they go for this dive. And so while they did not get a kill onto Prince and it was a 1-for-1, you still lose out on all those minions as you're chasing back. And it has left a mark, so the extra kill is definitely necessary to get Prince back in it. And we have the first completion here, the Kraken Slayer for Stixxay. So Prince gonna try and just push out and then go recall to be able to match a little bit.
Hopefully be able to get to a place where he can catch up in gold. Upon returning to live, you saw that Golden Guardians were able to grab that first dragon that they have previously tried to acquire. And then FlyQuest will still have that Rift Herald in their pocket to throw down at any point in time. But the gold lead fairly stabilized at around 1,000.
Yeah, I think this is not too bad for FlyQuest. Scaling advantage-wise, I think it is still maybe slightly Golden Guardian's favorite. You know, I'd personally rather have the K'Sante late than the Renekton, but Renekton doesn't necessarily fall off a cliff or anything like that. You can always try and stun up, lock people down. But it does feel like Golden Guardian's team comp might be a little bit better, but will depend on execution.
I think FlyQuest have a lot of options, at least to play front to back later with the Azir Xayah and Milio scaling so incredibly well for them. So we'll see if they're able to set up those battle lines and actually fight it front to back. Then you get to see the defensive prowess of the Azir Xayah backline. Golden Guardians, though, they can get really, really aggressive with some of these looks from Gori. As he approaches his level 11, he's not going to get it quite yet in time for this fight, though.
Uh-oh. They're stepping up to the plate. Huhi tries to throw out the Q to match up with Gori. Emperor's Divide thrown out. Vulcan now the subject of the ultimate from Nautilus. Trying to respond, but Vulcan has fallen. Looking to claim another one in life. The Lamb's Respite has been popped. Multiple in the safety of it, but VicLa falls as soon as it does as well. 2 lives lost on the side of FlyQuest.
Just as I say Gori's name, comes on in with a nice stolen Azir ultimate, sweeps them in to get the kills right before. Licorice now under tower, though.
Running into a little bit of an issue with Impact, who's swinging away. Kill for kill on the top side.
Impact went in knowing he was going to drop at the end of that one, but he wanted the kill himself. Goes down 1-for-1, just to remind everyone that top lane is an island. They're going to be fighting up there despite what's happening elsewhere on the map.
Meanwhile, you're going to draw the teleport out of VicLa here because Gori's able to push the minion wave in after their success also. And we're sitting in a world where this is a very healthy river. Back to the beginning of the game, all our focus being on this jungler for Golden Guardians after his amazing game yesterday. Now on the carry champion with the early Trinity Force, with the stacks, with the Mark stacks here only being at 1. That's the one area where he needs to improve on. So you still see them spawning on Scuttle because he only has a single one. He go get that Scuttle one and then mark up somebody towards this bottom side, probably VicLa, and see if you can actually convert on that one because he hasn't been able to find the ones on Spica just yet.
Yeah, didn't feel like he got any off those dives, preferring the surprise of showing up out of nowhere.
Around the Rift Herald, the fight ensues. VicLa grunts the most of the damage, and Spica has to flash away. The Herald does get the charge onto the turret, which is what FlyQuest were aiming for. Featherstorm thrown out by Prince, but the members of Golden Guardians can step behind it and attempt to lock, but also a disengage.
Going to be a teleport advantage now for Golden Guardians, so you can leverage pretty easy 1-3-1. You've got the teleport on Licorice, level 11 K'Sante coming in, very, very threatening, and red buff, attack!
There's so many Golden Guardians players lurking in the bushes and just a single Spica. No more blue bars to help him, so the jungler goes down.
Really nice vision setup for Golden Guardians there to find a sneak into the bot side of the map, get that kill on Spica, isolate Licorice as well to make sure he can get that push in. Just punishing FlyQuest, who grouped up to get that Rift Herald charge off right before the turret plates dropped. But then that pulled so many resources that they lost control of the map with Impact having to teleport it and everything else.
Man, this is so juicy for Licorice too. He can finish bottom tower, then they can go for the reset. You put Licorice on top side of the map, Dragon's gonna spawn in 35 seconds-ish. Then you have your teleport advantage up there, just switch your lane assignments, and Golden Guardian should be able to leverage this into some mid-game control of Dragon number 2, maybe even look for some more picks.
And it does feel like Golden Guardians of all the teams have been one of the best when it comes to switching up those lane assignments, responding to where they need to pressure the map most.
They just feel like such a complete team. Anyone can carry on any given day, it feels like. Here, River's getting a little bit more of the carry rock pass to him. But, you know, Stixxay himself, 3-1-2 is no slouch. And last week, he actually had an incredible series of games. There was a hot debate behind the scenes about him versus Prince, actually, for Player of the Week. Prince ended up picking it up because he went 3-0, but Stixxay was very close to going 3-0. on multiple good Aphelios games, had a great Tristana game as well that his team kind of, let's be honest, ended away from him in an Elder Dragon decision. So I think he's someone who has quietly been putting up huge performances in their wins.
And it is the 6th Aphelios game for Stixxay as they take the Dragon now on the Golden Guardian side. 100% win rate on the pick, and I think for good reason.
Can they get here in time? Rift Herald number 2 takes quite a while to take, even if you have your whole team there. So I think it's a little bit greedy for FlyQuest to start this up, because Golden Guardians got their full reset. They didn't even have to use Licorice on top side yet, and he can just walk on over. I don't think FlyQuest are going to be able to set this one up for free.
You're absolutely right. Licorice can hold on to that teleport because just sticking with the rest of the team and pressuring over into the river means that FlyQuest have to disengage from it.
FlyQuest tried to get sneaky with it, backed off once Golden Guardian showed up, and I do think it's the right call. We saw in that river skirmish that happened that went very heavily in Golden Guardian's favor. Gori on the flank, showing up on the backside to start the fight. Kobe, you talked about the front to back on the side of FlyQuest. Golden Guardians with double melee soul laners. Obviously, you're going to be looking for flanks and dives. And right there, again, Gori had been in top river, had the push going on in top lane. And so they would have been very open to another Gori flank if they did not abandon that Rift Herald.
And now you have so much priority. With the Rift Herald, you can shove twice as fast on one of these side lanes. River's able to go up here, finish the tower with Gori. Licorice just defends on bottom side. So Golden Guardians, they're giving nothing to FlyQuest. No counterplay on any of these attempts for cross map. You know, denied the Rift Herald play, deny the bottom side tower trade as well. They get the early recall off, reset right back out here towards the top half of the map again, and Licorice is chilling.
The lead for Golden Guardians continuing to extend 3.8k to them. We just saw the Gale Force picked up by Stixxay, so another power spike to be had. But just as you were discussing earlier, Mark, the fact that every player shows out in every game, and I think when you're looking at the versatility, you got to look at someone like Gori, who can carry on these high damage picks, but also win on someone like the Sylas and can steal away these opportunities for engage, like these Emperor's Divide, knows how to be able to kick things off.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Emperor's Divide is also a great engage tool for a flanking Sylas. Very happy to shove him, the rest of the team in, see if they can find a gank here around this mid turret or just drop it.
Spica is the first to catch sight of River and huhi hovering around the jungle. Some damage done to the turret, but it will still stand as FlyQuest remain unable to extend into their own jungle safely. You can see the deep wards that have been placed by Golden Guardians.
So many options right now for Golden Guardians. Getting bottom side shoved first allows for this reset of Licorice to the top side, and then Rift Herald is mid, so Prince
Look
getting
at that
stuck.
damage. Prince has to use the Feather Storm just to avoid death.
They can kill this mid tower whenever they want. There's a Rift Herald in hand for River. Golden Guardians can just flow into the jungle here and take away everything.
Sir, this Rift Herald has no time left almost.
Keeping you on the edge of your seat, Mark.
Golden Guardians have been all about the scares. Running down mid lane for that flash. Hopping out of the bushes of the jungle earlier to collapse on Spica. Hold on to Rift Herald longer. Bringing out the ultimate. VicLa is trying to make the play. The Dominus has been popped by Impact, but VicLa is way too far away from the rest of the team. Licorice drawing one victim towards him as Impact has fallen. The solo laners eliminated on FlyQuest.
FlyQuest were grouping up, trying to cut off this inevitable dive and push that was coming around mid lane, but Golden Guardians are able to find their targets, find 2 quick kills, and continue this push now. No one low other than Licorice at half HP. The rest of Golden Guardians very healthy to keep pushing.
They're not done, I don't think. We've got Gori fishing around on bottom side.
Hello, I see you. Gori popping them. Prince wants to try to draw one back, but can't break into the health bars. Enough of Golden Guardians that just claim the objective of the tier 2 and back it off.
You ever seen a Sejuani disappear, Mark?
I have now. There's a very, very interesting magic trick. The disappearing Sejuani. Small note, I definitely got trolled by the observer about the, not the observers, but the client about the timeout on the Rift Herald still up. But here you go. A quarter HP, you know, it's not the same as a full HP Sejuani blowing. Oh my god. It's like a 600 chunk right there.
Gori making it look like easy work. Cutting Spica down, and look at that. Golden Guardians continue to balloon their gold, and we haven't seen FlyQuest able to even break through a single turret, and the objectives are already at that bounty.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon number 3 looks also like it's going to be light work to pick up. You just Rift Herald on bottom side so you can get that extra threat towards secondary turrets. Then transition over to this dragon, pick up number 3 for easy. And you honestly don't even have to have anything to worry about other side of the map either. Teleport coming in from Gori. We get the March of the Herald.
Let's go, Shelly.
I am always very impressed by the grace with which Shelly hops on down.
Licorice,
Impact, though.
the Herald defender.
Yep. You don't take this crap. Let her do her thing. Get the crash. Let's go, Shelly. Though I have heard that second Rift Herald is technically Shelby. Are you in that boat, or are they both Shelly?
I don't put that much thought into anything in my life at all, let alone the name of the second Rift Herald. Whatever you tell me, that's what it's called.
Wow, you really don't care about Shelby over here, Mark,
No. You know what I do care about? I think it's really cool that all the Kindreds in the LCS use the DRX Kindred skin. Everyone supporting their boy Pioshik.
I mean, that's part of the reason why everyone was so happy for him to get a skin. Doesn't have very many. Gori gonna delete another one.
Shadow Flame, Sylas with the Pem boost looking very good on all these squishy targets. Assassinating Vulcan instantly there. Very easy setup and transition onto the Baron buff now with the key warder down on the side of FlyQuest.
Okay, FlyQuest, it's miracle time. What you got for us?
You got a teleport coming in from Impact. Spica's already trying to dash over the wall. Gori, despite being half HP, has the sight set onto VicLa, who's locked against the wall of the jungle and now sent to the grave. 2 taken away by FlyQuest. Spica has no chance against 3 members of Golden Guardian, and the 2 for 1 top. Impact takes 1. Never mind. Impact manages to turn it around, so the rest of the team sacrifice, but at least some drawn down to the depths.
All right, it's not a miracle, but I'll take it. Impact's got something for us.
That is what you take at this point if you're FlyQuest, the fact that you're 4v5 contesting this. And it starts with Gori on the flank, just blowing Prince up. He has been getting jumped on over and over again here. It is, I believe, actually River who's going to pick up that kill, but again, it was Gori serving that one up. And then the top side of Golden Guardians totally tunnel on finishing off these members of FlyQuest. And the bot side of Golden Guardians is like, great, well, we got Impact, guys. No, you don't. Impact quietly has been having this good game on the top side, which we haven't been able to cover because everything else going on. But remember, he did find that kill under the turret against the side of Licorice earlier. Here, he's putting that gold to work, winning the 2v1 on the Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, Golden Guardians are so far ahead that a little bit of hubris leaks in, so you just run at the Renekton, charge him straight down, but then all of a sudden, he's able to pull out a little bit of hope for FlyQuest. No Baron taken, so they still have a chance here to try and keep the game from fully collapsing. It is teetering on an edge here, but if FlyQuest can actually defend another one, get a little bit of money back for themselves onto some of these carries, a little bit more money in Azir's pocket would definitely go a long way to actually be able to help out. Currently, though, they're still losing out the rest of the map, and so they're pressured into this Baron start because Licorice is devouring the bottom side tier 2 and teleporting behind them.
Trying to collapse upon FlyQuest. VicLa gets hooked by huhi. Look at the damage landing onto Fly. Vulcan attempts to help him with the Breath of Life. The land's respite's activated. huhi on the outskirts of it can draw one down towards the demise. A triple kill set up here from Prince. Looking to dish it back to Golden Guardians. Still standing strong with 2. But Golden Guardians bring Spica on down. An Impact on the retreat keeps the ace from happening for the time being, but a play to win from Golden Guardians.
A 4-3 kill advantage for the side of Golden Guardians, but not too bad with FlyQuest, given that the whole point of this play was forcing out this teleport. And with how far they are behind in gold, I think this is actually a relatively good fight for them. They get a very nice sweep onto Stixxay, assassinate him, and split him away from River. Obviously, River wants to get on top of Stixxay to try and save him from this death coming in, but Stixxay kites down instead of up maybe into the ultimate. Bit of miscommunication there around the Kindred. And then Prince has a really nice evac, actually getting multiple people who he finished off on the right side as well as the left side target. Makes this actually a decent fight in terms of just getting shutdowns and getting more gold in your carry's pockets.
Yeah, that Aphelios was right on the edge of the Kindred ultimates, squeaked out of it instead of into it. Just on the other side of the line there could have been very different because VicLa used everything. He used Flash, Azir sweep there to get that Aphelios. And if they don't get that Aphelios kill, maybe it looks even worse, right? But FlyQuest scoring -1 on the kills in the team fight is not a disaster, considering, like you said, they did at least relieve that pressure of Licorice split pushing bottom using the teleport, and they just returned to the same playbook.
because that last fight ended so closely. They make their way back immediately. River making the same play back over the wall. Gori again trying to rotate from this top side to keep FlyQuest funneled together. Licorice wanting to cut him off. huhi doesn't quite connect with the Q. So FlyQuest find their avenues of escape.
All right, FlyQuest tried to force another Baron fight there before the Dragon spawn. Now they're going to be in a bit of a tricky situation. Golden Guardians is on Soul Point. If they get this, they will have Infernal Soul, which is a huge buff. But at the same time, Golden Guardians can sack one Dragon and just go on to Baron. So, you know, FlyQuest are kind of stuck here, having to force onto Golden Guardians a bit to make sure that they don't just get one of the two and end up with a better trade no matter what.
Yeah, usually in this... Oh, here we go.
Glacial Prison always thrown out by Spica. Multiple members of Golden Guardians able to back off of it. Gori making good work of these ults.
No Sejuani ult could be critical. They're having Aphelios solo the Dragon. He's coming up from the Dragon now because it's going to be a fight.
Stixxay, the brunt of the damage that Golden Guardians has to offer, making his way towards the team. But look, Licorice into the center of them all, activates the ultimate, but is shut down by Impact, and FlyQuest look to turn the fight. Stixxay's made it through, but River already stunned up, pause the Lamb's Respite, and Impact on the opposite side falls low, but keeps his life with the remaining members of FlyQuest. 3 eliminated on Golden Guardians. FlyQuest are starting to show the power of their scrap.
That's the miracle, Mark! Impact had an early play to give them life, but that there is the miracle! Oh my goodness, they live!
If that's the miracle, though, huhi is the Grinch of all the people to get the Baron. huhi stole the Baron. Stixxay still alive.
2 buffs available for Golden Guardians. 2 teleports coming in from FlyQuest. Tries to hop away, but Stixxay slams down Prince. Gori going for the play with the Emperor's Divide, but VicLa here to respond with a shifting stance of his own. Rejoins FlyQuest, and the 2 that are holding purple on to their cloaks are still in it. A teleport coming in from Golden Guardians on the bot side jungle.
All right, miracle averted. They don't get to deny the Dragon Soul. Golden Guardians, despite dropping the extra members there, still are able to go collect the Dragon Soul as well as the Baron. I thought off of that Blade Caller from Prince, because you saw on the back of Baron, all the way up there, River on the Kindred ult, doing so much work, but the feathers still left in the ground, and Prince pulls them back as that Kindred ultimate drops, and he's able to get that counter kill. Thought there was going to be a miracle here to be able to stop it. So let's look at from the very beginning again.
Yeah, this is really nice, the fact that they just blow up Licorice, who's going in, trying to stall and buy time for Stixxay, like you said, who was on the Dragon. They kill him very quickly, and this goes down so low. I don't know even how huhi gets it.
150. huhi's able to pop it from pretty far away, too.
I guess it was a Riptide that might have hit it, finished that off. But, I mean, this is a game of inches for the side of FlyQuest. Obviously, this is a nice cleanup kill on the tail end, but if FlyQuest got that Baron, they would be in such a good position to pick up all these turrets that are still on the map. But now without the Baron, they can't push in. They're getting killed on the tail end of it. Like, that could have been a monstrous gold swing. And going all the way back to the first kills of the game, that dive, that was so close to going their way as well. This was such a close game for FlyQuest, but now feels like too little too late with the Baron buff on and Infernal Soul for Golden Guardians.
And there's still 45 seconds to go on this Baron buff, which they were able to keep for some of this wave pushed on the top side, collapsing upon FlyQuest territory, who never got a single turret, never able to extend beyond their base currently, as Golden Guardians are holding all of the pressure.
All right, we got confirmation. It was the Nautilus ult through that was able to get it.
Calculated.
Golden Guardians, though, they still have Baron on Stixxay. They still have it on Gori here, so that's good enough to continue the push. FlyQuest trying desperately to defend their inhibitor turrets here. It may be a 10,000 gold lead and Dragon Soul staring them in the face. Can they do it?
Golden Guardian said the Fireman is coming. Infernal Soul and all in their power as they knock down the mid turret. And Licorice, while marked down low, backs off behind Gori, who's just soaking everything up that he can. FlyQuest trying to keep them away from this inhibitor, but how strong can they hold when Impact has to go towards the fountain to be able to heal up? Inhibitor acquired by Golden Guardians, and they are feeling good about this game.
A little scary there for a second as Licorice had his flash forced away and Kindred dropped her ultimate, but at the end of the day, able to grab that mid inhibitor, keep the pressure up. Going to now have permanent super creeps running down that mid lane. Golden Guardians, I mean, you can see this is a scary game, the damage potential that is on the FlyQuest side. For even a tanky person like Licorice, if he gets stunned up, they can easily 100-0 anyone.
Yeah, that's the front-to-back threat for FlyQuest, talking about earlier, has is starting to come to fruition. Again, it's a 10,000 gold lead in Dragon Soul though, so you are definitely outgunned at the moment. But there's so many small plays that actually led to this. Like you're talking about the bottom side dives, the Baron going down to Nautilus 150 HP towards the end. And then the kill that Stixxay got on Prince in mid when they had the numbers advantage and Dragon Soul was available as well. All of these little plays bringing us to this moment here. FlyQuest just trying to farm as much as they can onto their 2 carries here. VicLa putting up the Azir turret and allowing the rest of them to at least hold on.
FlyQuest attempting to find some sort of space for themselves. As both of you were noting, they have the tools for the front-to-back team fighting, trying to see if they can position themselves in a way where VicLa and Prince can deal the damage. But it's so difficult when Golden Guardians have had control of the map, control of the vision, control of the spacing. The 2v1 for Licorice here on the top side. Spica slamming down, but Licorice going way behind him to keep his way towards huhi and River that are circling through the jungle. Spica now knocked up high. huhi making some good work of that ultimate to keep them off of Licorice.
And now their base could be open. Gori's down towards bottom side, a minion wave coming, so that Sylas can get up to the turret pretty quickly here. See if the rest of them can get back and defend. VicLa sweeping on over. Gori doesn't want to get caught out by any of the home guards, and so they back right off. Attempt there onto Licorice. You know, if it was a little bit easier of a champion or a person to kill, then maybe you're able to actually get some more breathing room here. But now we're going to be approaching the spawn of another Baron, and that will draw you out into the map, make it much more difficult.
I do like the attempt made onto Licorice there. If you can find that kill, get some gold back in your pocket, you know, you can't really stop a 1-3-1 if you just sit and match evenly. So you overload one side, you try and find that kill. Like you said, K'Sante very hard to finish off, but I like some of the decisiveness out of FlyQuest from behind this game, despite the massive gold deficits. The forces onto Barons almost got them back in the game. There, almost found a kill. Not too bad.
One of the things that FlyQuest has been working on is standing behind a play as a team, and right now needing to stand as a team a bit as they take some poke. But yes, you have to try to make these plays when they become an option for you to avoid loss. And right now, Golden Guardians are on this Baron. We saw what they were able to achieve when 2 of them were wearing purple. Now all 5 of them will be, and FlyQuest could not step up to it, could not actually get any vision for themselves, and are back in the defense.
Yeah, it was just too hard to walk into that fog of war there. You saw Gori steal Spica's ultimate and chunk out tons of people just with the AP Sejuani ultimate on Sylas. You can see how much damage they're doing with that soul on their side now. And you know, Golden Guardians might just take this one slow and steady. They have Elder spawning in 30 seconds. Get both late game neutral buffs in your back pocket before you go for the game ending push.
You feel good when you have the Red Bull Baron buff on you when the Elder is about to spawn, and Golden Guardians here to try and offset FlyQuest in the setup.
See if they can do anything about it. Maybe something will finally break FlyQuest's way. They'll steal the Elder, win a team fight. It's do or die right now.
Yeah, the problem is that the time is not in their favor because Gori's so fed. This has been a really strong Sylas game for him. He's level 18. He can pressure the base with his Baron by himself, and it forces FlyQuest into this dangerous scenario where they know they've got to press the issue against Golden Guardians as time is going to run out, and it allows a possible flank from Gori as well on the Sylas. He pushes in mid, he threatens coming over, returns to the mid lane here versus Impact, and
Gori and Impact still holding on to their teleports, and a song and dance across by the Dragon starts to begin. His stun onto River, has to retreat towards the team, pops the ultimate, and Prince also activating the Featherstorm. Cannot quite get the lockdown with the Blade Caller. huhi flashing forward, attempting to get Stixxay! Over the wall he goes! Ember's Divide knocks multiple back, but it's only Vulcan in the pit. Impact still in the base. Teleport coming in from Gori to get the rematch against him. Pops the GA, is here to stay, and Golden Guardians collapse in the fountain. Whoa, what a play.
Stixxay has been a monster recently on the Aphelios. Golden Guardians gonna have to clean up some of the debris here in the base, but they will be able to finish it. Massive Sylas game here from Gori. Stixxay with another huge team fight at the end as well.
Golden Guardians, their second win of the week.
Last week, Stixxay, I voted for him for Player of the Week. He had multiple 2v1 plays with Aphelios. It's nerfed on 13-13. Don't care at all. Massive Elder Dragon fight again from him. I love it when he's playing with confidence. This team just looks so completely different. Golden Guardians right now on a roll.
So many people can step up for this squad this time around. River on the Kindred, 7-2 and 12. Gori, 6-1 and 8. Only death coming in the fountain dive, I'm pretty sure. You have Stixxay, 7-3 and 6. All the early game plays around him and huhi's 2v2 laning in the bot side. There have been a lot of games where Licorice has been the focal point. He takes the backseat this time, and it's such a complete squad where at any one moment, depending on how the draft goes, depending on who they're playing up against, they can decide who's going to get the resources.
Both games that they played here to kick off the second round robin were extremely convincing on the side of Golden Guardians. And just as you're both noting, it comes from a team effort. And that confidence you're talking about, Kobe, the way Stixxay is able to play, he's spoken so much about how that confidence is rooted this year compared to last.
Yeah, let's take a look at how it happened. The initiation, a lot of it used onto River. You know, Sejuani ult and everything, so they get the Kindred ult out really early. Big crits here from Stixxay to get the first one, but that's not even the most impressive part. Then he wraps around out of vision of the rest of FlyQuest. He's gonna come over with the ult flash, blue gun splash. And that's the fight right there. It's already over. Hit him with the triple, hit him with the game. GG, Golden Guardians.
Stixxay popping off again, 8 wins now, tied in wins against EG. You know that they are looking forward to that matchup in the second round robin.
Me too.
Some clutch factor right there with Stixxay, I gotta tell you. But everyone watching, Dig versus Cloud9 is next. But before that, take a look at the next evolution of LCS competition.
Every week at the LCS, we watch the top League of Legends players go head-to-head on the Rift. There's no doubt that each and every one is an elite gamer. But that got us thinking, who is the best all-around LCS pro player? We have devised a time gauntlet where we'll test their adulting skills by how quickly they can make a bed, test their physical abilities by making a target toss, and of course the most skillful expression of League of Legends ability, Scion Speedway. This is the LCS Triathlon. I'm now joined by Sven and M&S. M&S won the coin toss and decided to go first.
No, I think you had no idea what the coin toss meant.
3, 2, 1, go! This is not a fast start.
It's time gated, bro. Go fast.
Yeah, you gotta do it as fast as you can.
I don't know.
Wait, I should do this when I'm making my bed.
It's gonna be clean. He's not letting it touch the ground.
It's gonna be warm too, the body.
Okay, bro. Why you make this?
Sven, what do you have to say?
I thought it was gonna be easy, but I didn't know it was gonna be this easy.
It's timed!
Careful, man. Your pinky.
It's not even tucked in. The sheet's not even tucked in.
I didn't think the bed would fight back.
I'm talking shit now, but when I'm doing this, I'm gonna look just as bad.
Oh, sorry, my mom.
Hey, what is the pillowcase? He goes like...
Oh, nice.
You still have to tuck in the bottom of the sheet.
I actually have talent, you know?
He can't move on until it's done.
Really?
Yeah. Gotta tuck in the bottom of the sheet.
Oh, he's almost got it.
He's just gonna hide it.
Yeah, there.
I mean, it's hidden. No one can know. Okay,
no
you're
one
done.
knows.
On to throwing. Perfect. It's all time.
Hey, go throw.
It's continual.
Close.
Okay.
Almost. Hey, you have to hit the hole, not the guy.
Can I hit you?
Yeah, it won't count, but you can't. Oh, he did.
Nice.
Scion Speedway. The third throw, that's pretty good.
This one's hard. How much Scion have you played?
We'll see.
If you didn't troll the bed, he would actually have maybe a good time.
I'm fucking F1.
Let's go. You're what?
F1.
Have fun?
F1. Driver.
Oh, F1 driver.
Oh, F1 driver, yeah.
He tries to survive Scion Speedway.
Okay, this is pretty good.
Remember to use items, bro.
Matt? Matt, bro?
Okay, what item was that? Predator? Yeah. And Umos.
Wink. Wink.
The bounce.
Okay, that's the Scion script.
Okay, home stretch.
He's not gonna make it.
Vamos!
It's gonna time out.
Vamonos!
Yeah, gotta make it to the laser. Time!
Nice.
253. Sven, you're gonna be going next. Do you think you can beat 253?
impossible challenge, I guess.
Yeah, I think Emirates put up a great performance here in both bed making, throwing the balls, and science speedway. So it's going to be a tough challenge, but I'm confident I can do it.
All right, part 1 was M&S, part 2 is going to be Sven.
強く強く